Now, let's talk about how to edit these records that we have just entered into the system. So we're going to go back to Accounts. You'll notice since we were just recently in the Sports Partners record, it's appeared here under our recent accounts. So we're just going to click on it to open that record. And then to edit it, we'll click on Edit. Now, an important thing to note here is that you can only edit a record if you're the owner of the record. In this case, I'm logged in as Alan, and Alan owns this record, so I can edit it. If this record was owned by Barcy, Alan could not edit this record. So you just click Edit, and then basically you're right back in that same screen that you were when you originally put all of your information in. So you're just going to go in, you're going to add whatever information you needed to add, and you're going to click on Save. It's going to work the exact same way if you edit your contact. You'll notice now under our contacts, there's a little 1 in the parentheses next to it, and if I hover over it, it gives me the name of the contact. To edit it, I can either click on his name, or I can click Edit from here. And again, make whatever changes you need to make to any of those fields, and click on Save. And that is all that there is to editing an account record or a contact record. Next thing we're going to talk about is how can you track the activities that you're doing. And an activity is a phone call or an email. It's the different ways that you're communicating with your contacts. So what we're going to do is go back into that contact record. Again, you can get to it from here. You can scroll down and get to it from here. Or if you were in your Contacts tab, you can get to it from there as well. Then across the top in this contact record, you'll see Open Activities, Activity History, Notes and Attachments, and HTML Email Status. So we'll talk about each one of those. An open activity is basically something that you are scheduling. It's going to take place in the future. And this can be either a task or an event, or you can even send a meeting request right through SalesForce. So we're going to click on New Task. When New Task comes up, it's automatically assigned to the person who's logged into SalesForce, but they can change that assignee to anyone else that is within SalesForce. So in this case, I'm logged in as Alan, so it's assigned to Alan. If I wanted to assign this task to someone else, I click on this little looking glass icon, and it will pop up a little box. And in this box, we're just going to search for whoever it is that we want to assign this to. In this case, we're going to assign it to Barcy. So now Barcy has been assigned this task that we're going to be completing. You'll notice there's a red bar next to subject, so we know that this is required. So we just need to type in what it is. So this is just going to be a phone call. Then we need to put in a due date for when we want this to happen. If it's going to be today, you'll notice today's date is in parentheses right next to it. You can click on that and it'll just put today's date in there. Or if you want to schedule for a future date, you take today's date out of there. And when you click in the box, it will pop open a calendar for you. So you can schedule whatever date that you want. In the comments, it's always a good idea to put what you want to talk about during this phone call, sort of a little agenda to kind of jog your memory while you're on the phone. So this one, we're going to say that we're just going to pitch the show. Ordinarily, you'd have a little more detail in there. Then next down from there, we have our status. It automatically defaults to not started. If you click the drop down, you can also change it to in progress, completed, waiting on someone else, or deferred. In this case, we'll leave it as not started. Your priority can be high, normal, or low. And you can also click this box to send a notification email. In this case, we do want to do that because since Alan is entering it and it's been assigned to Barcy, Barcy won't know to make this phone call unless she gets that email. We can even set this up as a series of recurring tasks that would be happening on a specific schedule. If you're an Outlook user, this works very, very similar to doing a recurring appointment on your calendar in Outlook. You could even do an attachment. So if you wanted to make things really easy for the person you've assigned this to, you could attach a file. If you wanted them to use a specific script when they called, and to attach a file, you just click the button and then go to the Browse button, just like attaching a file in any other program. Then after you have everything entered, you can either click Save or Save a New if you wanted to add a new one.